The leg kick, I'm gonna look to strike, but there's times where you don't want to take a lot of shots, so you need to check. So I'm not a fan of bringing my leg up high. I like to do minimal. I like to watch the kick that's coming and go to it. Okay, meet it halfway. So that's my preference, because there's always guys that are gonna kick high and then they're gonna sweep, and I'm not gonna get caught with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a guy that always kind of stayed on my toe and blocked, and then fired off. Okay, just because I like it. I'm not a fan of this. Okay, I think it puts you on defense too much, and if you're always on defense, if I do something that puts you on defense, I can keep you on defense the entire time, and it makes you not have offense. You can't win a fight if you don't throw. Okay, so I just don't believe in being here and being on it all the way back. I believe on being more aggressive, taking a step back, blocking, and then getting to work. Makes sense? Yeah, exactly. So my philosophy on defense is tight and very basic. The more that you play games, the more that your people are going to see entries. Okay? The more that a lot of people try to block like this, like, no, let it come to you. Okay? Like, you have a lot of time to think. If you throw a big head kick, with your lead leg, and I block, I'm thinking about, I see it, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm blocking, right? Okay. But in that same time, if I'm calm and I see it come, I'm going, oh, I'm gonna punch him. Like, I'm already thinking about my offense, and I'm letting it come to me. Plus, my body is stronger as one unit. Whereas if I go, oh, kick, that's how guys in the UFC have broken their arms. Okay, he broke his arm, not like that exactly, but this is weak. Okay, so in the time that it's coming, if he throws that kick and I'm here and I just block, boom, boom. Okay, I'm gonna fire because I gave myself that time to think instead of going, oh, kick. That makes sense? So whenever you can stay calm, stay relaxed, stay confident in your defense, it's going to be huge. And that comes by when you probably do a lot of Thai sparring, a very relaxed sparring of just letting, I let people throw on me all day, Okay? Good morning, members. So I just watch and don't break. Just stay there and looking. Now I'm looking, where's my openings? Okay? Instead of, I see guys doing this and I'm like, what are you doing? You gotta keep your eyes on him. You look away and you look back and it's the biggest punch of your life is coming. You don't know. So always keep focused and always keep alert and keep adjusting. Put yourself in the best position to fire back. Okay? Other questions?
Like when you are getting a lot of offense thrown at you, and you're like kind of like a slur your punches, what's a good way to counter to when let's say he's throwing the right hand, how would I counter him and move my feet to get a good angle and get out of
There's two ways that I like to do it. One is with your eyes, if you're able to stay confident, like I said, you're watching and you're looking, okay? But you're also looking and feeling and listening, okay? So we talk about fighting, talk about rhythms and beats, okay? So whenever somebody's throwing a punch at you, you're going boom, 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 okay? You know their rhythm. So in between that is when you throw. Make sense? It seems complicated, but it's not. So what I used to do is I used to purposely spar, and I would get tired. I would put myself on the fence in the cage. I would put my defense up like I was hurt, and I would let them gain confidence and throw a couple, and then I would count 1, 2, 3, boom, and I would throw as hard as I could. And I used to get something out of that. Like every time I would go against the fence, I would let them get as confident and as aggressive as possible, and then I would go and try to throw and push back and watch them go like this. So what I always told people is, it's the mindset of it's a terrible analogy, but the mindset of getting jumped You know, if you ever see someone get jumped, well, 6 people have the mentality of, hey, we can beat this guy up and not get hit, right? But say that guy gets up and he just starts swinging, everybody's like, whoa, because their mentality going into it wasn't one-on-one, hey, I might get hit, but we're gonna fight. It's, hey, I can hit this guy, he's not gonna hit me back. So when someone's hurt on the fence and they're in a bad spot, they automatically assume that you're not gonna hit back. So the first time that you just swing, they're gonna go, oh, and that buys you time, okay? And a lot of times it gets you a knockout. So the biggest thing I can say is throw your balls at that time, you know? Say, oh, this is the time where I gotta dig deep.
We got the first session started.
What session?
When you guys are done here, they're going to do some demonstrations in the octagon too, just to talk about all the different classes that we have.
I was told I was no longer needed.
You're just an actor, just
Okay.
Let's go in.
Okay. Okay. So, I don't know why you're trying to drag me to do that. Trying to hang out with the fighters. But any other questions? You guys understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest drill is always beat. So if you throw a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? After that 3, I'm gonna follow. Boom, boom. Does it make sense? And you can feel it, because so they're always gonna be the same patterns, okay? So you go 1, 2, 3, okay, I always count in my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I try to beat them to it. Okay? Because as his combination goes, he's gonna get slower and you're just starting. Okay? So I will make that a drill of putting yourself in bad situations and just feeling, listening, and watching. When is my opening? Anything else?
I think it's better to be a defensive fighter or an offensive fighter.
Depends on what you're good at, your natural abilities. I'm the kind of person that I adapt, and the reason being is I'm pretty athletic and I have a decent fight IQ. But when I was coming up in fighting, I used to be able to mimic people's styles, and so all the guys that I was helping get ready, Joe Stevenson and Tyson Griffin, Gray Maynard, all these guys that I was helping, I was like their beat up dummy. I would try to like pretend to be their opponent.
Yeah.
So I learned to fight different ways, so I can adapt. So that's me. But a lot of people are just natural counter strikers, and a lot of people are just naturally aggressive. So whatever is you, be you. Whatever makes you great, remember that, and never stop being that, but always get better at everything else. Make sense? So whatever is your style, own it and get better at it, but don't have weaknesses.
Right.
Okay? But your strength has to be strength. Okay? So if you're a counter striker, be a counter striker. Usually you're fast, you have good reflexes. If you're an aggressive fighter, usually you have that aggression in you, and usually you're not as fast, and you can take a punch and you just like to go forward. So I mean, it depends on what you're making as a fighter. Other questions?
How do you set up like those awkward that cartwheel kick? Like how do you kick your kicks? How do you mix them up? Like do you just look at an opening and
Yeah, so what I try to do is I always use the example when I fought Dennis Seaver. At the time, he was very feared, especially in 145, because he had fought everybody at 55. And everybody was telling me like, man, this dude is crazy, and see all his knockouts. And when I really watch tape on him, I look for in my own mind, if you're coming at me, I look for certain certain signs and certain where's your danger zone. If you're a big right hand guy, no matter what, I'm gonna be focused on that, right here. This is this danger. So when I watched tape on him, he did like a left hook, a left head kick, and he did a spinning back kick. And so everybody was like, man, you worried about a spinning back kick? He knocks people out with that. And I was like, no, I'm really not. Because what I would have been worried is if he went this way, and then he also went this way. That would scare me, because now I know I can't spin any direction. So if I walk this way, he's gonna spinning back kick. If I walk this way, he's not. So I always knew that I was in what situation I was in. And so what were his other two things? I said his hook and his head kick. Okay? So if I walk up to him like this, he's never gonna knock me out. Does it make sense? His danger is here. So if I'm guarded here, I'm literally fine. Does that make sense? So I went into that fight very confident, knowing that he was strong, but I knew striking-wise that I was okay. People were like, oh, but he does this, he does that. Yeah, but you're watching his highlight video. That's a highlight. It's not everything, okay? So I knew that I could pick him apart, and I also knew that when he got tired, that all the people that had dropped him before, was when he got loopy here, people were able to go in between. And so I knew that I could break him down, get him tired, and then hit those shots that other people had already exposed. And I was just going to follow the bait.